Welcome back to Old War Stories with Uncle Jay. This one is entitled Wedding Fiasco. This was, at this point in time, 12 years ago, 2010, I believe. The Whiff has a friend who used to be in high school with us. She has since moved down to Florida. And we got married, and she was invited. And she came from Florida and attended our wedding. We had to pick her up at the airport, and she actually stayed with us. That's that's a whole story. Anyway, we'll skip all of that. It's inconsequential to this. Anyway, that was in 2005 that we got married. So 5 years later, she got married. And we actually, when we got married, right after that, we actually went to Florida to go on our honeymoon. And she took us to Epcot for a day, and there was one other place, I can't remember the name of it. It was like a hotel that had this indoor thing. I don't know at all what it was called. I cannot remember. And so we stayed with her for like 2 days and then went on our cruise. So that was sort of her wedding gift to us to have us there. And she paid for our meals and our Epcot and our everything like that. Okay. So anyway, it's her wedding. So we sort of had to reciprocate. Well, when you live in Florida and you get married, what's February? You know, who cares? What's February? When you're in New York and it's February, there's snow. It snowed. Bad. Really bad. Yep, it snowed. My mother called the night before and said, "There's going to be a big snowstorm." "Yeah, I'm well aware of that. Why did you call?" "It's going to snow." I said, "Why did you call?" "Aren't you flying tomorrow?" "Yes." "They're going to cancel your flight." I said, "You think so, huh?" Well, it snowed. It snowed bad. It snowed really bad. But they plowed the roads and you got out and you could do your thing. She called earlier in the day, that next morning. I don't remember what time. And she said, "Are you still going?" I said, "Yeah." "Well, you really shouldn't go because all the snow out there." And she just kept pissing and moaning about this. Got her off the fucking phone. We're trying to pack, get everything fucking together. A couple hours later, the phone rings. The Whiff was right there. She said, "That's Fran. She now works for JetBlue, and she's going to tell us that the flight is canceled." I pissed my pants because it was fucking hilarious at the moment because of how she was. It was unreal. It was so fucking funny. I couldn't even talk. I had to hand her the phone because it was so funny. "Are you still going? Are you still going?" You know, and she was just on and on and on. So now we had to drive from here out to JFK Airport, which is 25 miles. Call it 25 miles from here. But we needed a way to get there. So the way we actually did this was kind of interesting. On the way is my dad. So I drove to his house and then drove myself to the airport with him in the car. He then jumped in the driver's seat, took my car back to his house while we were gone, and then when we got back from the trip, he would pick us up at the airport, and then I'd drop him off, and then drive myself home. So that's how that ended up happening. We get to JFK. We get to the gate. We get to the terminal. We get to the gate. We get everywhere we're supposed to be. And we're sitting there. They have big TVs all around while you're waiting that shows the various flights. Okay, we're flight 973. I'm making a number up. It's showing. Everything says on time. Everything's good. This is maybe 11 in the morning, something like that. I forget what time our plane was, maybe 1, because you had to be at the airport like 2 hours early. So we're there, and we're waiting, and we're waiting, and we're waiting, and the screen's blacked out and just displayed a JetBlue logo. Just a big blue screen that said JetBlue in their font. That's funny. What the hell is going on? Waiting a while. Then all the flights come back. Alright, it is what it is. Sometime later, screens go out again. JetBlue. A line is starting to form at the desk. People are wondering what the hell is going on. Well, there was an 800 number that you could call, and even that had no information. Basically, nobody knew what was going on. Fast forwarding through the story, we were stuck at the airport for 10 hours. Not because of the snow, but because JetBlue's fucking computer system took a shit. And they couldn't fly any fucking planes. Had to be just then, after all of that, that we were stuck there. They almost canceled our hotel room. We got in 15 minutes before then. It was 11 something at night that we got into Florida. It was unfucking real. So already you can tell where this fiasco is going. Okay, we get down there. It's 11:45, almost midnight by the time we get checked in. Okay, well, we're hungry. We didn't eat all day. We did go to the bar in JFK. Now, you don't want to go to a bar in an airport. Not that you wouldn't get a good drink. We certainly did. Got 3 drinks there, total of about $50. That's a lot of money for 3 drinks, but everything at the airport is, well, sky high. Anyway, we get down to Florida and we get ourselves unpacked in the room and we go to the front desk and I said, listen, I know it's like midnight. Is there anywhere within walking distance we can get something to eat? He said, yeah, there's a place called, I don't know what it was called. It's a bar. It's only about 4 blocks away. And they have food there. He said, oh, absolutely, yeah, they're really good. All right, if they're open, then we'll go. How do we get there? And he actually gave us directions. And here we go. We go outside. It's Florida in February. It's 60 degrees. I'm outside in a t-shirt. Everybody in Florida's got their fucking fur coats on. They're freezing. I'm like, what, are you kidding me? There's fucking 3 feet of snow in New York. You got fur coats on? Fuck, man. Damn, they got cold at 60. That was ridiculous. Anyway, we get to the bar. The guy at the hotel warned us. He said it's a hockey bar. So they're going to have a lot of hockey games and maybe rowdy or boisterous customers. Yeah, there was. And when they made a goal, people would cheer and that. But we went in. And we got 3 drinks, an appetizer, and 2 entrees. and we walked out paying $50. That's how expensive the airport was. We got food and drinks at a bar and paid less in Florida. Or paid the same for much, much more. Okay, next day, the wedding. Well, this was the full deal, so we have to get to the church. Somebody drove us to the church. We didn't go in the limo. Somebody drove us. Don't know who, how, where, why. We go to the church. Now, interesting little aside. Does anybody remember my friend Shad with the T-Rex arm from Jay's Bar way back? Yeah, he got married. Yeah, and I went to his wedding. And we had to go to the church, and I was like, oh shit, here we go, Florida all over again. No, I don't know what happened. Shad's wedding, we were in the church. The ceremony lasted half hour, 45 minutes, short and sweet, to the point. Everything was good, and we were out. And then we went to the reception. This wedding in Florida, we go to the church, 2.5 hours in the church. I don't know what the fuck went on with this service, and it was not waiting around. It was just the service that took 2.5 hours. And I know everything is slow paced in Florida, but that's a bit ridiculous. And it was nonstop, whatever they were going through. I paid no attention to it. This is the whiff's friend, not mine, so I don't know really much about anything, who this guy is, who she was much, because we didn't share any classes, anything like that. She's also a nurse, by the way. So that's kind of how they got friendly and that. But anyways, we finally, the service in the church was over, and I'm like, damn, I can't, that was a long time. The wedding is at an aquarium. After hours. They close at 5, I don't know. Yep. They had the wedding at an aquarium. Okay, it is what it is. There's fish, there's other sea creatures and whatnot. Okay, could be cool. We go in, and they say, okay, nothing is ready yet, so everybody has to wait here. They put us in this long hallway. So we're all standing, leaning against the wall for another hour. This thing was supposed to start at 5. It's now 6. I'm like, what the fuck with this? What are you not ready? What is that? What the fuck does that mean? How are you not ready? You're supposed to be ready to go at that time. Finally, they let people into the cocktail hour. Okay. There's food. There's drinks. Go to the bar. Get a drink. You had to wait online. It wasn't too bad. But since everybody was just walking in, you had to wait online. Then I got on the food line. Now, this was sort of a buffet kind of thing. They didn't have the people coming around with the, oh, hi, we have pigs in a blanket, would you like one? Oh, we have chicken skewers, would you like one? You know, they didn't have any of that stuff. None of this white glove service. No way. It was buffet. Take what you want. Okay. So I got online, and I waited. And it wasn't even like different stations where they had like the grapes and the cheese and the this and the crackers and that. And then over here you could get like a pasta dish. And over here you could get some meats that were no. It's just everything like one table, 5, 6, 8 trays of different stuff. Take what you want. So you got your plate. It's always a mess and the whole thing. And then you forget a napkin or you forget a fork or something. So we get our food. We sit down. I don't even know if there was a table. I think we just sort of sat on like a bench and you just held it and ate so it would spill all over you and shit, you know? And I said, okay, and I got another drink in that. I said, you know what? I think I'm going to have some more food. So I got back online. There was still a line. 25 people online. I was one of the last 5 or 7 at that point. The people who worked there came out, put the lids on everything and said, okay, that's it, cocktail hour over, get out of here. And 25 people online never got food. Never even got food. And they all just walked off the line like, oh well, this is not, this might be the norm for you. See, I learned this later on. The way it was told to me was, there's nothing like a New York wedding. Now, Shad's wedding that I was at was a New York wedding. My friends Alyssa and Rob went to their wedding. That was a New York wedding. This is kind of limited more to downstate New York where I am. This is white glove service throughout. Full service for everything. None of this buffet bullshit. No way. Nuh-uh. No, no, no. Everything is manned and shit like that. So we get to the ceremony. The reception. And the tables are all numbered. You get your little place card, tells you what table you're at. Okay, sit down. And we're sitting there, and there's a bar way off in the corner. Just one. They had 2 at the cocktail hour, but now just one. I get a drink. I get another drink. Nothing's happening yet. So we're kind of waiting for a DJ or a band or something. They had a DJ. He was late. Remember, this whole thing was delayed an hour, and he was still late. So I don't know with this Florida time what the deal is. Same time zone I'm in New York, so I don't know what the fuck. Time just ticks slower down there, closer to the equator, I guess. I don't know. The DJ gets set up. They have him off in the far corner. There was no interaction with this guy. There was no, okay, let's get everybody out to the dance floor. Come on, we're going to get this party started. No. Just went on whatever he had to play music and just played music. And it sounded awful. And then they gave the speeches. And I remember the friend's mother said something to the effect of, I know I can't please everybody, so it is what it is. Okay, that's true. You can't please everybody, but you could give it a shot, is what you could do. The DJ, as far as that was concerned, they would have been better off going to CVS and buying a clock radio, tuning in a local radio station, and turning the volume up to max. That's how much better it would have been. But instead, this DJ was so awful, they should have paid them. Now it's time for food. Well, New York wedding, they come around. They give you a menu at the table, and you say, yes, I'd like the beef sirloin or whatever you're getting, the salmon or whatever it is. Nope. Tables 1 and 2, you can go get your food. We're table 8. Are we even going to get food? with what happened at the cocktail hour, holy shit. So I got another couple drinks. Table 8, okay. I was pretty much too drunk at that point. So that's the only thing I really could do. The food was passable. We'll say passable. Certainly not good, just passable. Another few drinks, and finally, whoever it was that drove us was going to drive us back to the hotel. So it was well after midnight, 1 in the morning, something. We get back to the hotel. I am drunk as a skunk. I woke up 3 hours later, had my netbook with me because that's what you did in those days, and I watched YouTube. There was wireless in the hotel. That was kind of nice. Oh, and another thing I did when I got to the airport in Florida was I logged into the Shoutcast server. Yep. Florida was 1,400 miles away. Let's see. Alexa, how far is it from New York City to Miami, Florida?
From New York, Miami is 1,282.9 miles away by car.
There's your answer. So, almost 1,300 miles away, and to be able to click that play button and hear the Shoutcast was, holy shit. That's me. That I knew where the data was coming from. 1,300 miles away, and it's playing as if I'm in the house locally. That was pretty cool, because that was the first time I ever experienced that. That was pretty cool. Of course, you could go to another country and play it, and it'll play just fine, but just the... I could even log into the machine back in those days. Now it's Windows XP. There's no support for any of that anymore, but whatever. I don't travel much. But I could even log in and administer the server. I could shut it down by clicking one button. I could skip to the next song by clicking one button. The fucking power I had from anywhere on the planet. That was absolutely empowering. But anyway, that was it. That wedding was a total fucking fiasco. Oh, incidentally, we also found out that that night, or maybe the night before, I don't remember, all the bridesmaids and shit, like, I don't know what was going on in the rooms, but people were making a racket at like 3 in the morning, and they got hotel security called up there several times, and yeah, it was not good. We flew back to New York, and that was that. It was the most awful one. That was probably, I think, the second most awful wedding I went to in my life. Of all of the weddings I've been to. There was one other one that will be for another time, but that's really all I got on this. Let me just double check and make sure I covered everything. Yep, that's it. So, that's the deal. The biggest wedding fiasco, one of the biggest wedding fiascos of my life. 12 years ago. I still haven't forgotten it, and I don't think I will. They're still married. That's good. That's really all I can say. Man, oh man. So I was a little scared and hesitant, because I don't think I've been to a wedding since then. So when I got a invitation to Shad's wedding, I'm like, oh shit, this can't be. But nope, it was that white glove service and the full boat, the whole thing, and that was that. So anyway, that was the wedding fiasco. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure you click like, make sure you click subscribe, and take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.